once again, and this time we're going to be talking more video games, of course, as always. So I'm your host, Armin, and I'm here with Tristan.
Hey guys.
So lots of big stuff to cover. So just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown, we're going to give some Pokemon news talk, Uncharted 4, some more VR. I guess like VR War now, and then we're gonna end it with what we're playing and some of the big news going on around kind of a big franchise, if you will, quote unquote, on big. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah, like what episode is this? Because like I know we're getting closer to the big two numbers that everyone loves.
Yeah, so we're on 65 currently. Since we've come back and actually been consistent, we're getting there. So we'll be there by, I don't know, like another couple months.
Maybe, yeah, yeah. But we're all adults here. We can say 69 without giggling.
No, we can't. Get out of here. So anyway, the first thing us adults want to talk about is the news of the Pokemans getting Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun.
Yeah, like from what I've seen, is people are surprised that that Pokemon is getting away from doing a third iteration of that generation's two games. Because we all know that back then they didn't have the tech to just do it with updates and patches, so they
Yep.
had to get a third version out there with all the updates and remasters of what was wrong with the original two games.
Now, let me ask you a question. So this is confirmed to be a brand new like style. It's not a continuation of X, Y, and
Nope,
Alpha.
it's brand new generation. This will be the seventh generation of Pokemon. Because in the trailer, there's a brief flashes of new concept art. Because the Pokemon centers are all redesigned. They're
Yep.
not the same from X and Y. There's a new Pokemon wireframe, which is not in the current Pokédex for X and Y.
Oh.
So it's probably a new bird, entry bird Pokemon. Like basically this generation is Pidgey.
Yep, I was looking at that and I was kind of confused, but there was one thing that confused me while watching that trailer. Right, they're talking about the Pokemon continues and they're doing it by the years, and why are people on like websites saying that it's the first new Pokemon game since like X and Y? I'm like, does everybody ignore? Like, I understand too much water, 7 out of 10, right? Like, I understand
Yeah,
IGN, but
I think it's more so on the Pokemon and the area that it's been set in.
true, true.
Yeah, because back then I think it was either been 2 or 3 years apart from each generation,
Yeah.
and now it's for this generation it's been 2 years since we got a new generation because I think X and Y came out in 2013.
So it's been a while. So, I mean, all I know is I'm super excited. Like, I woke up, I was hyped. I watched the video, I got more hyped, and then, of course, the announcement that because I pre-ordered myself on Amazon, like
Same here.
like the new 3DS, the smaller one.
Yeah,
And like, here's the
yeah,
thing. My wife, I bought her a 3DS, and I bought her the Luigi's Mansion like bundle one, which is
yeah.
the smaller 3DS, and the screen on that thing is so much better than the XLs because the pixels aren't stretched down. There's no like breaks in between them, so it's brighter even on the lowest setting. So she can use hers for longer. So, I pre-ordered a 3DS. I'm gonna get red and blue packed in there. I want those sweet covers. So like the Pokebank introduction into the classics that we'll be able to
Yeah.
carry over. That sells me on it. That's so
Yeah,
amazing.
it's really cool, but there's one thing that people are wondering: are they going to update it? Because the digital versions of the remasters of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, you can trade your Pokemon to Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, but you can't trade them to Pokemon X and Pokemon Y.
Yeah.
So people are wondering: are they going to like do an update to where you can? We don't know yet, but yeah, especially
No.
with the 3DS. I have a 3D the XL
Yep.
because I got it from what was it Kmart before they stopped doing electronics. But yeah, I can see like the tearing and not so much the pixelation like disappearing because I rarely use it from time to time. I only use it whenever I get a game, which is about like every couple months.
Same. Well, it's like to me, it's like I'm just excited for this concept, and I know there's been rumors for years now that there's going to be finally a Pokemon game that hooks up a couple of regions. Like they
Yeah,
could do it. I mean, I don't know if this is it. It's probably not. This is probably going to be all new original region, but it's like, but the fact that you can bring over your like classic Pokemon, like, does that kind of lend any credence to that? It's like, wait a minute, are they going to retread some of the same grounds? Because that would be
yeah.
freaking amazing.
Yeah, it really would. But the thing is that the cards for the 3DSs can't hold that much
Yeah.
data. The Pokemon X and Pokemon Y were the biggest Pokemon games at the time. We don't know how big Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun are going to be,
Yep.
but we would need like I think because some people I've seen speculations that they would need at least 2 or 3 carts
Oof.
if they wanted to add like 2 to 3 regions to the game.
Right. Damn. That's the limitation of the cartridge, man, and especially the way they took it. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of these things we don't know. I mean, it all depends on how it goes. I mean, I'm super excited for this, obviously, and I was hoping they would talk a little bit more about Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing on that front, but
Probably not going to get anything until closer to E3
yeah, well,
because even with the trailer, all we got was some concept art and the title. That's it.
yeah, and I mean, at this case, wouldn't it be the best case scenario if they're getting Pokemon Go ready, right? And they just come
Yeah.
out at E3, do their whole presence, and they can come out there and be like, and one more thing, and Pokemon Go available right now. And if you want to pre-order
Yeah.
your badges, right now is open. I think like GameStop, Amazon would literally crash from that influx of ordering
Yeah.
those damn things,
Yep. Yep. And just when you just mentioned that, I think tomorrow is going to be Pokemon Day in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know in LA there's a Pokemon boutique that's selling, I think, was it clothes to girls in a style of Pokemon, and I think there's a unisex Eevee shirt that men and boys can get at the Pokemon boutique in
Nice.
LA.
Now,
And it's gonna have like a little thing for it, and also that I think in New York they're gonna. Think I showed you guys. There's gonna be a 5 foot long Snorlax plushie that you
that's
can buy.
amazing. Now,
Yeah,
what do you think, obviously, because they announced the new games, and I haven't seen the pre-orders go up yet. So, I mean, I'm hopeful they announce like the version that packs in both copies. So,
also the collector's edition.
yeah, because I got to get in on that because I want to play it. I'm gonna get Moon. I'm forcing Shay, my wife, to get Sun because I'm like, no, you get Sun. I don't care. Yeah, I want the Moon. So.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
could see
it
that.
speaks to the volume since I don't even know what the hell the Pokemon are, but I know what I want. So,
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Because I also see people saying that they want Moon, but they also want to see the legendary Pokemon that are going to be on the cover.
yeah.
Because most people go with the legendary Pokemon that looks better to them, even though the stats are irrelevant until you actually get to see the game.
Oh God, they got us trained in this.
Oh yeah, it is. It also shows that people really do love Pokemon even after 20 years.
True. Well, it's popular as hell still.
Yeah, because if we see in the trailer, they were going through the generations
Oh, so
from
cool.
the really horrible link cable that we had to do when we
Oh,
were kids to now it's all Wi-Fi. We don't have to worry about trying to find someone down the block to see if they have the different version.
kids these days don't even understand the struggle.
Yep, going to school asking around, do you have blue? Do you have
Yep.
blue?
Want to trade the Pokemans? Oh my God. So, clearly we're excited for Pokemon, but we're gonna go over and talk about something else we are both excited for now. This was kind of surrounded with a little bit of controversy this week. It was
Which is kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, so the Uncharted 4 trailer officially hit. It looked the game. I mean, some of those scenes literally look like vivid paintings you would see on a wall. And
Yeah.
that kind of tails into what I want to talk about because one of the artists decided, I don't know if they were just lazy or thought no one would catch it, but they used some Assassin's Creed Black Flag concept art,
Yeah.
and that made it into the trailer.
Yeah, and I think Neil Druckmann actually went to Twitter and said and gave an apology because I think it was either supposed to be a stand-in and the person doing the trailer forgot that they
Yeah.
had a stand-in because they weren't aware that the picture in the trailer was actual Black Flag concept art.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the worst part about it isn't how, it happened. I think the worst part was how Ubisoft's dude handled it. Because,
Yeah.
he was just, blasting him and he was being a complete dick. It's like, dude, mistakes happen. Calm the fuck down. Come on, man.
It wasn't even in the like prominent in the trailer. It was for like 1 second.
Yeah,
And then
literally, it's literally one. It's not even a full second. I timed it. It's like half a second, just long enough, and then it transitions to the real location, which the real location doesn't reflect the picture at all. So I definitely believe them that it was, a stand-in or something like that, and they
Yeah,
just forgot. Like, it
was,
gets by people.
yeah. No, it's funny because people didn't even notice until someone pointed it out.
Yeah. It's weird. But let's talk about the positives of the trailer, which would be every single frame of that trailer.
Oh yeah,
It, I don't even know. Like, I was speechless watching that. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I've talked on this show how much I think Rise of the Tomb Raider stepped up the bar, and like, it's the Uncharted 2 of the Tomb Raider series. Now, they really hit it out of the ballpark, and it's hard for me to say since Rise of the Tomb Raider is like my second favorite game of last year, but I think this looks so much better that I don't even know if I could grade it higher. Like,
yeah,
it's like night and day compared to
yeah.
what Naughty Dog's doing.
Yeah, like from what I've seen from the trailer, from the voiceover from Sam talking to Nathan about family, it just goes to show that Neil wanted to incorporate some of the story elements from The Last of Us into the last Uncharted game,
Yeah.
which is actually pretty cool because you see the conflict that Drake has is that he's been out of the game for a while, but his brother, in air quotes, tries to keep drawing him back in, and Drake's family is trying to warn Sam that he doesn't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, just when I'm watching this, like, there's definitely that family connection, and I know a bunch of websites still spin the thing. Oh, all these people left Naughty Dog. Clearly, the game's gonna suck. I'm like, guys, just look at this game. It looks like when I look at it, it mimics what got me the most excited for Uncharted 2. Now, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I loved 3, but 3 didn't have that,
It
like
didn't
what
have
2 had,
the wow impact that 2 did.
Yeah, exactly. And this looks like it's going to. I mean, can I just for a second, like, the graphics were great, but there's
Yeah.
one scene in particular in the trailer that I had to pause and rewind and rewatch like 5 times. There's
Is it with the Savannah?
not even that, but I did rewatch that. It's the most basic, like, it's one of the most basic scenes. There's no, like, amazing anything in it. But there's a scene where I think it's Nathan. He jumps through a window and lands on the ground and does a front roll into cover. Watching that scene a couple times, every individual shard of glass, how it bounces, how the lighting reflects through the glass as it's like breaking into the building, and how like blurs the camera and those like it. I, I don't. I was speechless watching that aspect of the trailer. Like,
Yeah.
they get. It's almost like watching a movie, but you can't believe you're playing this thing. Like, that's gameplay right there.
Yeah.
Like, it just blew me away.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Like, it's mind blowing. Naughty
Yeah,
Dog.
that's the consensus around the trailer. Actually, if you go down in the comments, people who have just went to PlayStation because of this generation for the first time, and they heard of the Uncharted games being like movies, and then finally seeing story, in-game engine of the trailer, saying that they can't believe that this is a game and not a movie because it's seamless transition now, and that since that Naughty Dog's working on an upgraded version of their own engine for Uncharted 4, everything's seamless.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
there's no cutaways to pre-rendered screen visuals. It's all in game.
yeah, they've knocked it. They understand what they're doing. They've knocked it out of the park. This is Naughty Dog at their best. I mean, you look at what they're doing with this, and you definitely get shades of they're taking Uncharted 2 and they're taking Last of Us, and they're melding the two styles in like this perfect, cohesive, like, love child of two of the greatest games of the last generation. So it's just mind blowing. Like, this game needs to hurry up. Like, I wasn't that hyped
Yes.
for it because I like try to ignore everything that's coming out on it.
Yeah.
But after this trailer, I got that Uncharted itch again. I'm like, no, I need this now.
Well,
Like,
I think the reason is because so far until that trailer, we haven't seen anything about the story.
exactly. Yep. And the story, man, it's gonna be good. I can feel already it's gonna be good. Like, it's one of those things, you know.
Yeah, it is because just like how two had for the most part, we're gonna be globe trotting around the world apparently, which is
Oh,
kind of
man.
amazing. So we'll be able to see different locations and different environments that Drake will be in, and see all the all the little nuances that Naughty Dog puts into the games to make it that extra special.
Yeah, and that's one of the aspects, don't get me wrong, like, I loved Rise of the Tomb Raider, as I've said, and one of the aspects that I had a problem with was everything happens, the entire game takes place in one region, so, like, you start off on the bottom, it's like there's a little snow, and by the time you're at the end of the game, you're on top of the mountain, there's a lot of snow, but it's the same environment. So even if you put like a deserty cave scene in there, it's still in the same environment. Like, you don't feel like you're globetrotting, you just feel like you're in one setting. And that kind of takes me out of the whole, globetrotting adventure, searching for pirates and all that. It's like, this looks like it's going to have that aspect, so.
Yeah, it is, and what also makes it even more fun is that you will have the Nathan quips, to help you and give you a little chuckle because for most part, Nolan North does pull it off. Like what you're thinking is what he will be saying.
Oh yeah, every single time. Like it's so, and I love that when they do that with characters in games because it's like if they do that, then not only have they understood the player, they understood their own mechanics. So it's like, oh, if there's a holy shit moment, Nathan Drake will go holy shit. It's like, oh man, he's reading my mind because they know what they've done. They execute it with perfection. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be good.
Doesn't beat it that Troy Baker's in this game too.
Oh god, it's the two guys that voice everything now voicing, this game. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they're shooting up a bunch of people who are voiced by them also. Like,
it's just funny because I want to go back to the Game Awards last year where Troy Baker made a little clip. It was actually pretty funny. He said because he gets a lot of comments and emails stating, I want to be a voice actor. How do I get into voice acting? To which his response was, "You'll get a job when me and Nolan North die."
Yup. Oh, so true, so true. Well, speaking of death, let's talk about our next subject then, Tristan. So obviously, just about a month ago, we learned, actually a little bit more than a month ago, we learned the price of the Oculus Rift at $599 US.
Yeah, and I think recently the THC, was it Viver?
Yeah,
came at $799.
Oh my god! So the Vive, which is freaking Steam and Valve and HTC, they come out and it's $800. Now, granted, this one comes with two of the controllers and two of the cameras that are going to track you in your room. Now, speaking of this, the Oculus, you just need a chair, a controller, and a headset. Now, the Vive, on the other hand, you don't need a chair, first of all. You need the headset. You need these two positional cameras that are going to track you. The Vive itself has a camera that's positioned on the front of it that looks out into the room to make sure you're not going to hit a wall. And these two controllers that represent your hands. So you're actually standing and moving around in these games. And then if you start getting closer to the wall, it's going to like put your wall as a grid in front of your eyes so you know, so you can kind of back up and then you can continue, right? Which is cool and all, but not a lot of people have that much room, guys. This is a lot of room.
Running into stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I've already decided, like, I'm gonna get the Oculus. That's a guarantee because I'm getting that one, through Amazon and everything. So I have that 30 days. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But it's $800 for. It sounds like a lot, but when you really think that they're packing in those controllers and that their screens are also slightly better than what the Oculus offers, you're kind of like, well, okay, it's first generation, and I understand it. They are pretty expensive, but that's the barrier to entry, man. If you want VR, you're gonna have to pay up.
Yeah, it's just when people are saying, "Oh, well, only PC enthusiasts are gonna like this." I mean, they're trying to cater to the casual crowd, but people need to understand that first gen adopters are gonna be paying a premium because most of the technology is either new or it's still in development.
Exactly. I mean, look at the PlayStation 3 when that came out, right? Like that price was ridiculous, but in 2 years it was down. Now, here's the thing, they released the Vive test. Now, I've talked about that I've built a new PC just a month ago, and I took the Vive test, so I got a high-end 6-core Intel, which these are still, they beat the 4 cores into the ground. I got 32 gigs of RAM, I got a terabyte of solid-state hard drives across 3 hard drives, and I got a R9 390 Extreme version, which is a $390 graphics card. So I ran the test, and I passed the test with, out of a 10-point scale, I passed it with a 7.1. Now, the PC I told you that I just built cost $1,700. People that are if you want to be able to score above a 8.5 or higher, you have to buy a $590 graphics card. So the barrier to entry is quite high. I mean, I still passed the test. I'm in the green. It's going to run fine with my VR. I might have to turn down some of the shadows or something, which I normally do in all my PC games anyway for smoother, like frame rate and everything. But it's like, that's the type of thing we're looking at here. And so if I just built that PC and it's going to require that much power, damn, like I'm starting to get worried about PlayStation VR because it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
So basically, you're going to need a mainframe to play these games.
Yeah, you're going to need to play it on like the most comfortable setting. You're going to need like a $600 to $700 graphics card, and I mean that's the price of a PlayStation 4 and probably the VR together. So this kind of gets me worried, and I kind of want to talk about this and involve it in here, because Sony announced a conference for industry people that's going to be held in March. So
I think it's March 15th in San Francisco. I guess it's still at the convention center that they held last year's PSX.
Yep. So this has got to be the announcement of the price, right? I mean, they can't show it off again and walk out without announcing the price. That is suicide. Price and details have to be announced right then and there.
Yeah. And for the pricing, I'm like, because from what Andrew House has been saying, it's supposed to be like the pricing is equal to a new gaming hardware system.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm thinking like it's $299 to potentially $399, hopefully.
If they are $1 over $399.99, it is suicide. Like, I mean, the sweet spot. I mean, me and you talked about this. If they can come out for $400, right? And they pack in the PlayStation camera, which you're going to need, and they pack in 2 games, which they got to do because all the other guys are doing it, right? And they pack in something like, you got the VR headset, obviously, and maybe like a month of PlayStation Plus, that's fine. If they come out at $350 and they're like, okay, it's the headset, 2 games, and whatever the hell else, but if you already have the camera, they got a victory on their hands. So like, it's going to be a little tough, and maybe they can release a 300 version that doesn't even pack in games or anything, but...
Yeah, just the headset.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be one of these weird things, man. I mean, I'm starting to get worried, because this is the year where VR takes off, and if it takes off, the future is going to be bright, but I'm starting to get worried we're going to get to this point where all 3 headsets come out, and they're going to fragment the market, and this is already starting, because like trying to look at which headset I was going to buy, and the Vive is the one I'm not buying, so I'm buying the Oculus and the PlayStation this year. There's already exclusive games for all 3 headsets that you will not be able to play anywhere, so it's like, I'm just starting to get this weird gut feeling, man. Like, I don't... It's scary.
It's what it is. It's that it's going back to, I guess you could say, like the 90s console wars where everyone tries to get an exclusive and, tries to get their established install base in first so the others will fall in line.
Now, here's the thing I was thinking about. Well, obviously, PlayStation has their ecosystem, right? You'll have PlayStation-only games. They'll be downloadable. You can just download it, have a VR section of the store probably. That's cool. Steam announced the same thing. There's going to be like a Steam layer that you'll be just able to browse through in VR. It'll look cool, all that. You can download the games there. Oculus, though, doesn't have any of that. They're going to build their own storefront. But here's the catch. If any of these are going to succeed, it's going to be Oculus that wins for the simple fact that they have Facebook behind them. And they have so much more money than the other companies. They can go out there and buy any exclusive they want, and it's not even going to create a dent in their pocket.
Yeah, no, though they have the money, it's just, do they have the know-how with customers that, what they want and what's their best interest, and not just, we have the best system, we have the best VR experience, you're going to pay this anyway because you want to play VR. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I feel like the console market, Sony's going to win that one. They're already ahead of Microsoft and Nintendo, unless Nintendo NX packs that shit in somehow, right? So, the way I look at it, man, I think Sony's got the console market for VR, and I think Oculus is going to absolutely destroy, Vive. And not only that, there's already Oculus games that are available in the Steam store. So it's like, if you guys aren't exclusive, then what's the point? You're going to have a few exclusive games, but I can still hook up my Oculus to my goddamn, Steam, and it works with all the games you guys have on there. So They're playing this weird game on PC, but yeah, I think Sony's gonna nail this one
Yeah.
out of the ballpark if as long as it's
And
priced right.
yeah, and people are wondering, well, what about, Microsoft and what was that again?
Oh,
That
the
weird,
HoloLens.
yeah, the HoloLens. I did see an article saying when they asked about it that we aren't ready for it yet.
Dude, I, I
That's
know
that's
if
that's
like
their official response is that we aren't ready for it yet, and they're gonna retool it.
I talked to a friend of mine who I said multiple times, I mentioned him, he's a game developer, and he has the Oculus Rift dev kits. He's been working on those. He actually, I can't disclose who he works for, but I can say he's worked with Google. Like, he's a tech engineer. He knows his shit. Um, and I talked to him a couple days ago, and I specifically asked him if he's got any new stuff. He's like, well, he's got the early Oculus, he's working with it, and he's looking at some stuff. To get the HoloLens, the entry price model for the dev kit, $4,000. What in the living fuck are they doing with that? No one is going to be able to afford that. So when they say it's not a consumer-based product, they're telling you it's not a consumer-based product because that isn't going to work the way they showed it off with games or anything, or with like
Yeah,
Minecraft, for like another decade. So yeah, that one's not
yeah,
even a question. That's not going to
yeah.
work.
It's more for institutions and all
Yeah,
and businesses. So
yeah, it's that was announced as an empty promise, and it's nothing to do with it. I mean, how much does it speak volumes that during Oculus's showing before, right? They bring out Microsoft, and Microsoft shows off Xbox One games running on PC through an Oculus headset. It's like, oh, they even know. Like, come on,
yeah,
they
that
understand.
also speaks to how Phil Spencer is saying that we're trying to get the games on the best platform. We see Xbox exclusives being run on PC and either being released at the same time or at least a month after the Xbox exclusivity is,
And they're
out.
also outselling the Xbone version, so that speaks
Yeah.
volumes too.
Which is really sad because from another report is that Rise of the Tomb Raider, the holiday exclusive, the PC version outsold the Xbox One version.
And what's worse is that came out during the holiday rush versus January dump month. Like, Jesus Christ, Microsoft, you fucked up on that one. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess while we're talking about that, we're going to transition to our last topic at hand. And we're going to start this one by saying, this is obviously what we've been playing. Now, I just want to talk quickly because earlier in the week, I got this itch to start replaying all the Resident Evil since I have 0 and 1 and 2, and
Uh-huh.
I have all of them. And then they announced 4, 5, and 6 are coming out. In reverse order, though, because they
Yes.
don't want you to play the good one, and then the slightly good one, and then the terrible one.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of bad because people are all, oh, it's gonna be a collection. No, it's gonna be a HD port. I think downloadable game, but they're going to reverse this time. So you're gonna be playing Resident Evil 6 at the end of March. You're gonna play Resident Evil 5, I think, in the summer, and the good one, Resident Evil 4, fall 2016.
and I guarantee next time this year we're going to have them on disc in a collection, which then leaves me the question. So we're going to have 0, 1, 2 remake, 4, 5, 6, but nothing on 3. So 3's got to be somewhere in the pipeline, right? Like, that's got to happen.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen after the actual 2 remake because 4, 5, and 6 are just ports, and I guess to be up-res for 4 because I don't know what else they're gonna do for 5 and 6.
Yeah. Meh. Yeah. Well, 6, they shouldn't even fucking include in that collection. That game is so fucking bad.
Well,
Oh,
I wonder how much it's gonna cost because it's the first one. I'm gonna laugh. It's about $30.
oh my god. And this is Capcom. Like, they're fucking willing to do it, and... Oh, jeez. Oh,
It's just funny because like I posted the trailer when it came out, I think like a couple hours after, and people were already commenting and saying that they actually wanted some other Resident Evil games and not 6, because apparently people like 6. Because I know that at some interviews they're saying that since the first person shooter genre was at an all time high when 6 was out, that they wanted to go action. But
right.
that type of action wasn't the type of action that people wanted because I think most of the Resident Evil fan base, it isn't the 18 and younger crowd. It's more, I think it's the 18 and older crowd that grew up with the series as it
Yeah.
went on with the horror genre.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know what they're doing, but speaking of that, then let's just jump on to the actual part we're here with, which is obviously what we're playing. So, Tristan, obviously, a lot of new games have been coming out. We're getting into
Yep.
that rush. So I guess I'll start with the game I started cracking out on 2 days ago, and now it's out. Everybody can buy it, which is Far Cry Primal. So this is
How is that?
it's a weird game, in a way that this is what I've always wanted from Far Cry. Now, not to say that I don't like the other Far Cry games, because I really do. Like, I've played every single one of them. I was one of the people that built a PC specifically to play the first Far Cry when it was out, when it was like a graphical marvel. So I have a long, history with this game series. But
Yeah, that reminds me of like going to the store and seeing like in the electronics section, all the high end PCs were doing demo reels of Far Cry.
oh yeah, and that's what got me into wanting to build a PC, because I was like, this I can only play this here, this in Battlefield 2. I'm gonna build a PC to do it, and I did. So I got a love for this series. That's kind of like it goes all the way back to that. But talking about this game, it's weird because this is the most un-Far Cry game you can ever imagine, but it's also the most Far Cry game because originally Far Cry started as a tech demo set in the prehistoric era. So
Yeah.
it's weird, and the best way I can say this is this is how I guess I'll explain it. Imagine having a rocket launcher, right?
Hmm.
Now imagine that rocket launcher shoots out animals that are homing rockets.
So
So
you're like getting into like Grand Theft Auto 5
like
mods.
that's what the game is. Like, you tame an animal, right? So you're going around, and this is a survival game. You have to like scavenge and build and feed yourself, and like if it gets cold, you have to go near a fire and warm up and sleep till morning and stuff like that. So they have all those elements I love, like the survival aspect. But instead of having weapons, it's all like melee and hand-to-hand close range, or you can shoot a bow and arrow or throw a spear. Now, what I reference to shooting animals is when you tame an animal like a bear, and right now I'm running with a saber tooth that I tamed, you essentially see a bunch of people, right? So I sneak up on them, and I set my animal to attack him. And he literally homes in, and he'll like climb up, like he'll go on a mammoth and like start biting its neck. So here's the scenario of what happened to me last night, and I started to play around 11 p.m., and before I noticed, it was 5:30 a.m. So this is when I knew I had to put it down because I saw the sun rising. But the the scenario that happened right before I realized what time it was I was climbing up these caves, and I saw a bear in the distance, and he ran away. And I'm just like, well, fuck it. I accidentally lit one of my spears. So I chucked the spear far in the distance, and I'm just like, all right, out of sight, out of mind. Now I don't have fire. No one can notice me. I'm going to sneak around, and it's kind of getting to be dark, right? So I'm sneaking up this cliff to hunt this woolly mammoth down, and I see it in the distance, and I'm like, oh, good. Suddenly, out of my right ear, I hear a lot of noise. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I hear a pack of hyenas, and then I see them running. And then I see a bunch of cavemen chasing them. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It doesn't stop there, because that spear I accidentally threw down the cliff landed in a bunch of bushes that set themselves on fire, which happened to have a bear in them. Now the bear was on fire and got aggroed, so he ran until he ran into the humans who were hunting the hyenas, and they come up here, and they're now where I was trying to hide. Unfortunately, as I jump down this cliff, they trigger all the mammoths, so I'm backed up against the wall while everybody's rampaging. So my tiger jumps on the mammoth and starts biting its neck, and it kills the littlest one, which aggroes every single big mammoth to automatically attack me because I'm the one that sent it. So I get shoved off a cliff, fall about 150 feet down the water, and I survive, but I'm badly injured. As to which point a goddamn crocodile bites me in the head, and I die. At that moment, I realized what this game was. It's a living, breathing prehistoric simulator. Like, it's so mind-blowing how much fun I'm having not shooting anything, just like going around harvesting stuff and things like that. So if you're into the shooter games where you shoot with a gun, this might be a problem for you. But if you want that same kind of feeling, but the rush is different because like you have to save your tribes people and develop, your spears and all this, and you have to harvest and hide from predators until you can take them down, this might be the game for you. And this is honestly, other than Far Cry 2, which I have a really like love-hate relationship with, probably my second, might be actually my first favorite Far Cry game. Like, I love this game, and it's definitely not a extension. I know it sounds like it's an extension because it's now called Far Cry 5. No, this is a full-on Far Cry game. I'm like 20-something hours into it in 2 days, and I'm only like 24% done, so there's plenty to do in this game.
Yeah, this is like from what I've seen, what people have played. It looks like it's really deep and really fun. But from what you said, it sounds like a metal band cover. From flaming bear to mammoth to you getting knocked down a 100-foot cliff and then getting your head chewed off by an alligator.
Yeah, it's so good, and like the way you have to work with it, you have to scavenge for everything. Like it's imagine all those games you see like Ark, Ark Survival or whatever that game is, and like DayZ and all these games where they
Yeah,
mod dinosaurs and prehistoric stuff into them, but they're too hard because they're just broken and like they want you to literally like drink water every 3 minutes before you dehydrate yourself. They
that's
remove that.
that's really unrealistic
Yeah,
right there.
they remove all those elements while keeping them still in there, but making them simple so you're not worried constantly. And like, oh, yeah, it's so fun. Like, I know people are looking at the $60 price. It might be a little too much. At $60, if you're a hardcore fan and you like the story, I told you, highly recommended. If you're not into that and you maybe want to wait a little bit, when this game is $40, it's a must buy. Anything under that, it's going to be a steal because you're going to get like 60 hours out of this. And it's
Well, yeah,
awesome.
like
But
even like especially on PC, they get the Steam Summer Sale. You probably get it a little bit cheaper if you're on the fence about it.
exactly. And I will say that this continues the game of Far Cry, though, where it's like the villain sucks and he's only shows up for like 15 minutes total time. He's like, "Oh, I'm crazy, man." And like that's it. It's like so the villains are always terrible in these Far Cry games, but you're playing it for the, you're playing this game for the primal aspect. So I'm really into the story for the little bit that it is. You trying to like save these people and like find ancient paintings and all that. It's really cool. I highly suggest it if you guys are liking what I'm talking about. Like totally worth the experience.
Yeah. From what I've been playing, it's just basically from what I got from like last Friday was Bayonetta 2, the game that people wanted to play, but since the Wii U, the install base is very small. I think there's about like a little over 10 million units
Yeah.
sold. So there's not a lot of copies of Bayonetta 2 out, and it got re-released. I have it. It's really fun and really awesome with the gameplay. There's gonna be a review. I just finished the game, so it's gonna take a little while. And then the other one is Fire Emblem Fates. I just almost done with the last part of the first expansion pack, Birthright, because I have the collection edition, so I have all
Yeah.
three on one card. And for that, it's actually pretty good. They improved on it from Awakening. The pairing system is a lot better, and just graphically, it's a lot better from the last one. Because some people were making jokes because they're oh shit, they got feet now. Because in Awakening they didn't have any feet.
Oh man. Well, let me ask you this because I got into the hype and I wanted to play it. So I go to GameStop on day of release, and every single copy was obviously pre-ordered. So I'm like, okay, so they were sold out of Walmart, they were sold out of Best Buy, everywhere.
I'll tell you some stories. Just keep going.
But like today, I went back, they're still sold out everywhere. Only Conquest had 3 copies available at Best Buy. I did have Birthright pre-ordered on Amazon, but they can't ship it because they're also sold out. So they're gonna ship it when it's in stock. So obviously, I did a little bit of research because I had no idea what the hell the differences were. So unlike Pokemon, these are 2 completely different games. And
Yeah, they're two completely different stories too.
so I wanted Birthright because everybody says that's the easier of the 2. So
Yeah.
I just want to kind of enjoy it for the story.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for when it comes in.
Yeah, Birthright is easier because you have more chances to get more experience. Like in between each basically chapter, you'll have a couple challenge maps that you can earn extra XP for your battalion, and you'll also be able to spend money to look for challenges too. So if you're having trouble on a chapter, you can spend money to look for challenges to get more XP, or complete the challenge that you already have to get more XP. So your army is as strong as it can be. With Conquest, it's a little bit more challenging because you don't have those options to do that. So you really have to think who gets XP and who doesn't.
Huh.
And what the story is about that is because Fire Emblem Fates is the best-selling Fire Emblem game in the West for its opening weekend.
Well, clearly, because I can't fucking find it anywhere a week after release.
Yeah, because from what Nintendo America said that thanks to the West, it sold over 300,000 copies the opening weekend.
My God.
And that's the reason why most stores don't have Birthright, because Birthright was the number one selling 3DS game in the West. Because I remember going to a Target and all they had was Conquest. All the Birthrights were gone.
Yeah, Conquest, I've seen a bunch of copies of, but yeah, Birthright is sold out everywhere I go, so...
Yeah. And what were you saying that you couldn't find a copy? It's getting really weird because when things are sold out, I think, GameStop started refunding people because people ordered a collector's edition and couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So there was one really bad instance at Best Buy where people who pre-ordered the collector's edition, they got refunded, or they said that they will have some more collector's edition in, I think, at around March 10th. But it got a lot more crazy when someone found that on eBay, and now this is Best Buy's official eBay page.
Uh-huh.
They had over, I think, 2,000 copies of the collector's edition for sale at regular price.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Best Buy.
Yeah, and people are wondering, well, why didn't you just give the 2,000 to people who pre-ordered instead of just saying, oh, we only got 2,000. Let's just sell it on eBay so no one can blame us for saying that we didn't have enough copies.
And, I looked at eBay just to see. The collector's edition, I saw at one point going for 6 times retail price.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy.
It is because, like I said, I have a collector's edition copy because I ordered, I think, like 10 minutes during that Nintendo Direct when it was announced.
Uh-huh.
And I got mine. But what it is that what people want it for is because it has all 3 expansion packs on one cart.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, for like a regular person who buys Birthright, if you want to get the other 2 stories, you have to get, you can buy them. Well, you can buy a Conquest by itself, but you can also buy it on the eShop for $20. And I think Revelations, I think, either for like 15 or 20, so you can get the full story.
Honestly, I think explaining what the difference was, they did a terrible job at, because I had no idea what the hell it was, and I follow video games, so I had to literally go look up wikis and YouTube videos of people explaining to me what the hell the difference was, because I had no idea. I thought it was Pokemon Red, Blue style.
That's the consensus. You'd actually have to look it up, because that's what I thought. But once I saw another video on it saying that they're two completely different storylines, then I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Because that's confuses a lot of people, saying that, oh, if it's just Pokemon, I can just get one and just not have to worry about the other one. But no, it's unlike Awakening, it's 2 different storylines with 2 different. It depends on who you pick. If you have, since like for me, I have all 3 versions, it will tell me the three pathways that I want to choose. But if you don't have it, you'll either have one, or you'll just automatically pick the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, there's that. It's really good. But I'm so busy I can barely get that. Like, I'm almost done with Birthright. Because some people are all more on Revelations. I was like, okay, I want to get through it, but I got reviews and other shit to do. So it's just that, and I've just been loving playing. I haven't played my Wii U in a long ass time. It's like the longest I played with my Wii U with Bayonetta after I'm done. I don't even think I'm going to be playing for a while until Pokken the tournament comes in March.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Pokemon. So tell me about it, because I bought Bayonetta 2. Obviously, I haven't had much time to play because I'm still playing some Pokemon. I'm playing Far Cry Primal now. And I will say quickly, I did play a game. It's a smaller indie game called Oxenfree. It's on Xbox One and Steam, I believe, only. So quickly, just to run it down, imagine Twilight Zone. You're a bunch of kids going on a trip, and suddenly stuff gets weird, and time starts shifting, time starts rewinding. You're having a conversation with these people, talking to them, and then you find yourself repeating the conversation 4 or 5 times, but things are slightly different in the environment. So you have to figure out what the mystery is behind that. It's a 5-hour game. I beat it in one sitting. It's really entertaining. It was $20, I think, maybe 15. I can't remember, but totally worth it. You guys should just search up Oxenfree. It's really good. If you guys are into the mystery style one experience type of game, it's really meaningful too, because there's probably about 15 different endings you can get in this game, depending on how you interact with people and your decisions. And it's really like one of those games that touches on the fundamentals of humanity at its core. So if you
Yeah.
guys are into that, check it out because it's worth it.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, yeah, so that's basically all the games we've been playing. Because I know, well, we're gonna be pretty busy. I think within a couple weeks. Because I know we got. Well, I'm getting the HD Twilight Princess pack,
No,
and then
same
after
here.
that,
Yep.
yeah, and after that it's Pac, and I'm probably gonna review that too. Because I really am interested in how they implemented the 2D to 3D fighting experiences with Pac, and it's gonna be really cool. And plus,
Yeah.
who can deny Lucha Pikachu? And then
God damn.
after that we have the Division, and then we have. Well, I know I'm getting Ratchet and Clank for just in time for the movie. I'm probably gonna go watch that. 'Cause the movie looks actually pretty funny. And then towards the end of April, it's gonna be Uncharted 4.
Oh my God, so many games. And then don't forget, once we get into June, man, it's
Yep,
all about No Man's Sky.
yep. And since I know we got people saying that they want like, speculations and first impressions along with the trailers, we're gonna be trying doing that a lot more. So
Yep.
especially during E3, there's gonna be a fucking shit tons of trailers and stuff to do.
Yeah, the main reason I haven't done them, because obviously I was making a bunch of news topics and doing the reactions and thoughts, and the reason I haven't done them in the last week and a half is because literally I've had a lot of problems with my internet since I built my new PC and Comcast, and it's been like flooding up here, so my internet's
Yeah,
been real shitty, so I have to watch out for that. So as soon as that's
yeah.
better, you guys can expect more.
And I'm gonna start doing that. It's just that I've been busy myself, especially with the review, because there's a lot of things you need to do. But there's a lot of things coming, and big thank you to the people who do love the new intro. I do have an end title card for the end videos that will direct you to more videos that you may like on the channel. So there's that, and a big shout out to Caesar who actually did the art, which is pretty amazing of him to do. If you ever need channel art or any art, especially, you can hit him up. I don't know if we're gonna have his YouTube account and his
We should
Instagram
just
or
like,
even Twitter.
yeah, I'll post him in there. We should just have him come on and show himself for a while.
Yeah, but yeah, if you need something like that, he's your guy. He has reasonable prices. But yeah, just check him out. He does really awesome work.
Sounds good. So we're gonna end the podcast here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit late, but we made the decision to kind of do it after the Pokemon news because we really wanted to talk about it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll be back. Should be back on Monday per normal time from now on. So,
Yeah, the reason why it's a little late is because we kind of forgot about Monday.
yeah. And then we're like, what Pokemon news dropping? So let's just do it then.
And don't worry, I'll probably try and go into detail with the news from whatever things I can scrap out and just some predictions. And
Yeah, sounds
just
good.
because I know, yeah, I know. But I hope you guys like it.
Yep. So thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next podcast.